You're listening to the Epically Geeky Show, a place for all things geeky.
Welcome back to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 67. I am your host for the evening, Gene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, when you hear about a TV series that has already ended, but people have really good things to say about it, but they say, but the ending kind of dropped off, would you A, still watch it all the way to the end, B, watch it up to the point where everyone says, just watch it to here and then don't worry about it, or C, just avoid it because you're like, nope, if they fucked it up, I'm not even going to give it my time. Cyrus Martin?
That sucks, man. Like, there's been a lot of good shows that I didn't watch because of that. Because people would tell me, "Oh yeah, it's pretty good except for the ending," and then I'm just like, "Well, fuck, I don't want to watch it now." You know, it just takes me out. I'm like, I don't want to bother. Like, you're telling me to invest like hour upon hour upon hour watching a show that you're already telling me is going to disappoint me. No, I'm all right.
Understandable.
Well, just throwing this out there, though, I told you wouldn't enjoy Guardians, and you did.
You lied, though.
Maybe.
You lie, bad man.
Well, since he already spoke up, Ray, how would you come down on this? If someone told you the series was good up until, say, season 5, don't bother with season 6 and season 7, would you?
I'm going all the way.
All the way, really?
Oh, yeah. No, if it intrigues me enough, I'm going to watch it. Like, one of my buddies is telling me to watch, you got to watch this. It's kind of boring near the end, but you got to watch it anyway. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll watch it, whatever it is. And you get through, and then that way I can make my own decision whether I like the ending or not. Because some people don't enjoy the endings and other people do. So,
good deal. Chris, what do you think?
Oh, I'll watch it. I would want to because I'd want to form my own opinion about it. But, yeah, I'd watch it.
Okay.
I don't think it would bother me. I don't mind knowing the ends of I don't care about spoiler alerts or anything.
That's how she knows if she's going to read a book. She'll read the beginning, and then she reads the end. And she's like, yeah, okay, I want to see how that ends. Or, like, how it meets in the middle. How it
gets to that.
That's an interesting... I think you've said that before, and I thought that was interesting then, too. So,
yeah.
Jennifer, how do you come down on this?
It kind of depends on the storyline, but I'd say I'd probably, if I was intrigued enough, go ahead and watch it if it sounded interesting. If it didn't really interest me, then I'd probably just say, But yeah, I'd probably give it a shot.
Okay. Honestly, I'd probably fall in that camp of I'd be like, okay, I'll follow exactly what you said. I'll watch up until this point, but then, now if it seems like it's not going to get, if I'm still interested to see where it goes, I might keep watching, but I'll be honest with you, I'd probably just watch up to the point where, most people say, no, at this point, it jumps the shark, don't worry about it. So, well, speaking of that, tonight's topic, we're actually borrowing a topic from our little sister show, as it were, Epically at Rhythm and Brews. They did a topic where it was one of their best episodes where they talked about bands that they had broken up with. Well, we're going to apply it to all media tonight. So we're talking about those things that you started watching, you were really heavily invested in, and as time goes by, maybe it's you, maybe it's them. Maybe it's a little bit of both, but for whatever reason, you broke up with it and you have no plans of ever going back. So with that said, would anyone like to go first? All right, I'll tell you what. I'll throw the first one out there.
Where's Lainey? Lainey wants to
I know,
go
right?
first.
Lainey's always the first one is honestly, and I completely forgot. It's so funny. This is probably my most recent breakup, and I didn't even have it on my list. Like, literally, I was washing dishes thinking about the show today, and I was like, damn it, I didn't put that on there. And that's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm huge in the Marvel Universe. The idea of having a TV show that folds into that Marvel Universe, I was completely down for. And yes, the first half of the beginning season was pretty rocky. But I could kind of see where they were going. And then sure enough, we started having these tie-ins with the Winter Soldier. That was like one of the huge tie-ins. Yep. There was a little bit of a tie-in with the second Thor movie, but there was a huge tie-in with that. And then as it went along, I enjoyed it. But as time went by, not this last season, season before last, I found that it was just kind of getting backed up on my DVR, and it's like, yeah, I enjoy the show. I guess I'll finish watching it. And it was honestly, by the time I got to the end of the season before last, I was just like, all right, I'm going to stick it out for the rest of the season. But then I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. And they haven't just fully come out and said it, but they pretty much have come out and said it has nothing to do with the Marvel movies anymore. Like, they're not worried about it. It's not going to have any tie-ins. And that was the only thing that was still keeping me in.
Like, I loved it when Samuel L. Jackson was on the show.
Yes.
Like, that was... And then, I'm with you completely on that one, because I really enjoyed the last half of the first season was better,
mm-hmm.
and then the second season was all right, and
mm-hmm.
then, they got into the Inhumans thing, spoiler alert, and, there was a bunch of cool things about it. But then it just, I'm with you. It just kind of like...
And then this last season, like, I barely finished the Inhumans thing. And then, like I said, I haven't watched any of this latest season. But they completely shifted gears and they brought in, what's his name? The guy, the skull on the motorcycle. Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
The skull on the motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah, they completely... they brought in...
Simplifications. We're going back to that, okay.
They brought in Ghost Rider and I'm like... Where the fuck did that come from? That's totally out of left field. And it was at that point that I'm just like, no, I'm done. Did
you watch any of that? I haven't watched it yet.
I didn't even bother at this point, because like I said, whenever there's 4 or 5 episodes of a show, waiting to be watched, I'm pretty much like, okay, I'm done with it. It's just, so
I thought you were trying to say, like, what is this guy? He's like a skull, and he's riding him. Who's this guy? And we're like, no, it's Ghost Rider.
Like, I didn't know who it was.
It's really hot. I don't know. On fire.
Totally not believable.
Almost like he's a demon, but I don't know.
Something, yeah.
Seemed out of place.
Yeah. All right, Cyrus, what is your first breakup?
Well, since you're talking about TV shows based on comic books, I guess I'm going to go with Gotham.
Really?
Because... Yeah, I mean, part of it is that I just kind of got out of watching TV shows, but also the show, at least the first 2 seasons, it would have like 3 or 4 really good episodes, and then like 2 or 3 that were kind of like, and then it would have one that was like, what the fuck am I watching this for? And then it would be like really good again, and then it would be like, well. And I just kind of got tired of it, because I was like, you know what? In the end, this is pointless for me to watch, because this isn't tied to anything else. This isn't going anywhere. This is like, they're not going to end up with this kid being Batman. He's like a 12-year-old, you know? Mm-hmm. This show's not going to run that long. And if it did, this kid is like some little skinny kid. He's not going to be Batman. So I was just like, I don't care about this. I mean, I just kind of gave up on it.
So you kind of had a battered wife situation there. You were saying it got good, then it got worse, and then you're just like, oh, I'll go back to you, but maybe not.
Oh, okay. I thought you were approaching it from the opposite end of it. I was like, wow, you beating your wife, and it got good, and then it got worse, and then you're like,
really?
No, I'm just playing. I was like, man, Eugene, you're pretty savage, dude.
Really? Yeah, because I'm definitely savage. As I sit here with a fidget spinner.
There's another Eugene t-shirt, just Eugene's face. Savage.
Write it down.
Got it.
No, I did not. I guess, I don't know, battered wife syndrome. I don't think it's kind of trivializing, but I didn't quite feel like I was a battered wife.
Okay.
But I did kind of feel like what I was watching was like okay. I have another one that ties into this. Can I go ahead and say it?
Sure, go ahead.
Supernatural. You ever watch that show?
I have never watched Supernatural. I'll be honest.
Okay, Supernatural was really, really good for a while. Okay?
Yeah.
And then they decided to break down that wall between reality and TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like episodes where it was just got goofy, like it just got really silly. And you really started to feel like I'm watching something that's a facsimile of what I thought I was watching. Like I'm watching something that's like a fake show,
Mm-hmm.
like CNN, not a real, no.
But Fox is totally real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Most believable news, the most credible news on television.
Alternative facts.
Sorry, we went there.
What did you do?
But anyway, I just felt like with Gotham, the sort of the same way I felt with Supernatural, where it was just like it got to a point where I felt like I was just wasting my time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I quit.
It's understandable. Chris, what's a breakup you've had with something?
Okay, I'll stick with the TV theme going on. I agree with Supernatural. I don't understand why it's on its 12th season. I'm like halfway through the series.
12 fucking seasons?
Holy
I don't know
shit!
where they can go. Why are they still there? Anyways, so the one that I stopped watching was Grey's Anatomy. And I really liked it in the beginning. It was sort of a more updated version of, found it out, buddy, of ER. It was a little bit more funnier and lighthearted than ER. And then, and George O'Malley was one of my favorite characters.
Oh, yeah.
And right around the time where him and Katherine Heigl, like T.R. Knight and Katherine Heigl.
Oh, wait. You got to say it right. Catherine. Right, Eugene?
You okay?
Pretty much.
Eugene hates Katherine
cannot
Heigl.
stand.
You don't like Katherine Heigl?
Cannot
Okay.
stand
So right around the
Katherine.
time she started pulling her shit, saying that, she wasn't going to be part of the Emmys or anything like that. I didn't like, once those two characters left, I hated what they did with Izzy's character, and I didn't like the way George O'Malley went out. I just stopped watching it. I didn't care anymore. I'm like, my one favorite character's gone, and it's just going to get weird now. And then I've only read blurbs that, like, half the cast a few seasons ago died in a plane crash. And I know, but I still don't understand how it's like 14 seasons now. I don't know why.
I have never enjoyed that show, but Christy has. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's your show. And so it's been on in the background while I've been doing other stuff. So, I've picked up things here and there. And I'm just literally like, they've done they're looping back around on shit. I'm like,
yes, like how can you go that long and not start repeating stuff? There's only so many times everybody can sleep with everybody else, and so many times
Tell me about it.
Surgery can change. Oh, I know, Sai.
but I mean, okay, that the hospital's been on fire multiple times. They've had multiple plane crashes and helicopter crashes, and it's just like.
Yeah.
They're working on their own personnel, even though that's not really supposed to be allowed, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's getting a little too ridiculous, and I just
have they had the episode yet where the person is dead and they're a ghost, and then they have the opportunity to come back to life?
I'm sure they have.
Has it happened?
I'm sure they have.
Yeah. Okay, because it always happens.
That always happens. Well, the first season of Supernatural I didn't like because it was always about the ghost. Some ghost the body had to be burned, and it was like, and then the ghost would go away, but it was like every episode was that for the first season.
So Casper had it right. They had unfinished business. Okay.
What was funny about Supernatural was, though, when they got to that point, they just admitted it. They just came out and said, if you're still watching the show, thank you, but.
Hey, yeah, I'll bring that up later.
All right, Ray, what's your first breakup?
Well, you guys are all staying with TV. I'll stick with TV as well. So, True Detective. I love that first season.
Oh, good one.
That
So
first
good.
season was amazing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. Ended kind of weird, little quick, but loved it. And then started trying to watch the second season. I'm like, this is not even close.
I don't think we got through the first episode.
Man, what a disappointment! Because it has Vince Vaughn, and you're like, oh man, Vince Vaughn,
Rachel
awesome.
Adams and
Yeah,
Awesome
Yes.
and like holy shit and
Colin Farrell was in it.
and it just I was like, what are they
It
doing?
was so boring.
I think
Christy
I got to
finished
episode-
the second season and was just like, eh.
Yeah. It was just so.
I finished it too. I made myself finish it, and it was like eating your vegetables. You're like, I guess I'll fucking eat these vegetables.
I think she may have compared it to that at one time. Like she was literally like, there was this constant undertone of like, okay, there's something there. There's something that could be awesome there.
Yeah. Yep.
It's gonna come. It's gonna break out any minute now. And you just kept watching, and it never did.
When that show turned and went to shit, it went all the way to shit.
Oh yeah, like they committed. They committed.
Yeah.
So, now I have heard rumors that they are doing a season 3, but going back to the original 2 guys.
Oh,
So,
really?
Matthew
Together.
McConaughey
And
and
Woody Harrelson.
I would watch that again.
If they
Depending on the
do
story.
it,
But,
if
yeah.
they do it, it needs to be totally different though than the first season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they can do it.
No, like those guys are on another level. They're on another level.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And they're
Vince
really-
Vaughn. I love Vince Vaughn. He's awesome, but Vince Vaughn is not. He's not on that level.
No,
let's
he's not
just-
a dramatic actor. He's not. No.
I mean,
He's the
imagine
asshole, the lovable asshole.
Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson put everything they had in that, and you could tell
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The story was really good.
Oh yeah.
And the editing too. Like what DC needs to go to that show and look how they edit movies, like or how they edit a TV show.
Just let HBO take over DC.
Maybe they should. They
You know what? Why not?
Can't do anything right now.
Hell, CW is doing a great job with DC stuff. Why? Just like what HBO could do with it.
Well, I think CW's doing a great job for CW. I'll say that.
Well, let me put it to you this way: there's probably a bigger following for the DC universe or DC characters on the CW than there is in the movies.
That's it's fair. For one of those shows, The Flash is very, very good. For one of those shows,
Yeah.
but you cannot compare. I mean, the quality is, I mean, it's a TV. It's like a old TV show, kinda,
Right, yeah.
It's not like what you get with one of these, Netflix or HBO or something like that. Well, we say Netflix, but Ryan in the chat was talking about Iron Fist. I don't know.
I've heard
I
back and
watched that
forth on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Jennifer, what's the first one on your list?
I'm gonna go back a little and say Charmed. Did anybody watch that
Charmed. Interesting.
years ago?
I've watched a
Yeah.
little bit of it here and there.
I loved that show, but they got to a point where they tried to break up Piper and Leo, and then it just got really dumb after that. And I kept watching because, I felt I had a duty to do that. But yeah, it just went downhill for me, and I just couldn't. They just brought in all sorts of characters and had them do things that didn't make any sense.
What is it with us, Jennifer, where we feel like we're obligated? We have that.
I was literally about to bring that up because that's a damn good question. And for
Maybe
me,
we think that it's going to get better. Yeah.
that's part of it. Part of it is also the fact that I think it's kind of like let's go to the console wars here, Cyrus. You've made your decision. You went with Xbox or you went with PlayStation. So you've got this money and time invested. You want to stick with it.
I go
think,
with Xbox One PlayStation. I went the PC Master Race.
anyway, the point being,
PC Master Race.
if you've got say 5 or 6 seasons of a show under your belt, that's depending on how long the episodes are and how many episodes are, that's 100 hours, and it's like, do I really want to give up on it at this point?
Yes.
Well, yeah, and you remember, it was so good for so long.
Oh, yeah.
I want that back. But
Yeah.
So I'm going to cut in just real quick, Eugene.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but we're hearing some thunder here now. So we are also in
We also
having
may.
a cutout.
Nice.
And if we cut out, we're sorry.
Okay, well, there you go. Probably should have said that at the beginning of the episode. Yeah.
And at this moment, we would like to thank Epically Gamer for all of his. Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
My next one on my list is probably one of my biggest breakups when it comes to television. The first season was just phenomenal, and the second, this is one of those shows that I literally told Cyrus, just watch the first season, pretend like nothing ever happened after that, because everything that happened after that was such garbage, and that is Heroes. Now,
Oh my God! Yeah.
Heroes was a victim of the writer's strike, clearly,
Yes.
because they took everything that was great in the first season,
Yeah.
wiped it aside, and like they were trying to redo everything, and it was so weird, and it didn't go anywhere, and it didn't make any sense, and I didn't even
That's
bother
what
with the
I
third
held
one.
Yeah, we held out for Heroes.
We held out so hard.
Yeah.
And then even this new one
And
that
the
came
reboot?
out, we were like,
Oh,
oh.
See, I was so burned after Heroes, I didn't even bother with that reboot.
It was awful. You weren't missing anything.
No.
It was terrible.
Well, they showed Hero in the
Pass.
the trailers, right? And they were
Mhm.
like, it was like the new Hero, and we were what 3 episodes in,
3 or 4
4
episodes
episodes in, and nothing.
No
it was
Hero.
just it was a hint of he's coming. Oh, he's
Oh.
gonna be Hero. So fuck off. He's not coming.
No, we didn't. Yeah, it was terrible.
That would be a great commercial. Oh, he's coming.
Oh. We're gonna bring him back.
Tonight on NBC. Ooh, he's coming.
All right, Cyrus, what's your
I'll do the
next one?
Canadian broadcast. You do the American.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Fast and Furious movies. I'm a big fan of Vin Diesel. I think Vin Diesel is really cool. I like I can't really say I like almost all his stuff, but I like most of his characters that he does. I think he's cool. But I have to be honest with you. After they went to the Tokyo Drift and all that, I pretty much checked out. And
Wow,
never checked back.
really? Because I actually did not really care for the first one. I didn't even bother with the second one. It's when they started becoming more of a heist movie that I actually thought it got pretty good. Of course, I think it's gone way too far now, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
The first one was a heist movie too, though. Like a lot of people forget about that. It was
Okay.
a heist movie too. But
When-
anyway, sorry.
Vin
Go ahead.
Diesel wasn't in that one, and so that's pretty much what ruined it for me. So, like
Yeah.
I said,
Understandable.
I've never
Uh,
seen
you
any
can't-
of those movies.
well, don't worry about it. You
Yeah.
can't have a Vin Diesel series without Vin Diesel. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Triple
So,
X.
but when he got back into it, I was just like, man, this is like a soap opera. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
kind of out. Kind of
Yeah.
out.
I don't think
So-
I haven't watched past Tokyo Drift either because I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I think the term is technically dude opera is what I've heard it described as. It's a dude opera. Dude opera. Yep.
It's like wrestling. It's like
Exactly. That's the other thing I've heard it described that way is wrestling. So, yep. So,
Gotta watch my stories.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what's next up on your list?
So I'll go with movies too. I don't like movie franchises that are based on trilogies of books and then they split the last book up into 2 movies.
Uh-oh.
I hate that. Drives me crazy. So they've done that with a bunch, but
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and
Hunger Games.
Twilight, the Hunger Games and then the
Rings.
Divergent series. Those are the 2. Other than Divergent being a terrible movie, I just didn't go and watch them. I watched the first 2 Hunger Games we did in the theater, and then after that, we just as soon as we heard that the last book, Mockingjay, was going to be split up into 2, we're like, it's not big enough to be split up into 2 movies. Why would you do that?
Holy shit. You
And
know what? I don't know if I've seen them
Funny.
either, now that you said that.
No, I didn't want to watch them, and I did watch them because of Philip Seymour Hoffman. That was the last movie he was in, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta see
But because you felt obligated?
to him, not to the
Oh.
movies.
But see, there we go again. We feel obligated to
Yeah.
be entertained
Oh.
by
Because
strange phenomenon.
Yeah, a little bit. But I can't stand it that they do that because I didn't But I really didn't like Mockingjay to begin with. I didn't like the ending of it.
I didn't either.
I don't think I was like, it.
She should have ended up with what's his face. Yeah. She should have ended up with the other guy and been happy, but not how it happened. Because sorry. Anyway,
you had feelings about this.
I had feelings about this.
But yeah, so I didn't finish watching Hunger Games, and we didn't watch.
I could see Eugene reading the book and like throwing it after it's done.
She did
whatever. This fucking thing is bullshit.
Team PETA, Team Gale.
Just fucking throw it.
Yeah.
And sit in the corner.
Yes, I was obviously on the other team.
I'm gonna go write my own fan fiction. Fuck this shit.
That's what you do. You start reading fan fiction on the way the story went your way, the way you thought it should have. Yeah.
All right, Ray. What's your next one?
So I'm picking the other one there, Divergent. Dear God, I couldn't.
Those
I could barely get through the first
movies.
movie. I think I got halfway through the second movie, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. What a brutal series. Not only did I not like how the book series ended.
Yeah.
I knew, I was maybe hopeful that maybe they'll correct that in the movies. I don't even know, and I don't even care because that second movie just was like,
yeah.
There's no chemistry between the main characters, and it's just
none.
And I don't know, the way that they did the cave area was too well lit and too I think of a dark area when you think of a cave. This is a well lit factory area. And I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, very industrial.
Like Eugene's, Jay's basement, dark area.
Yeah. Like if it was Jay's basement, the water and that's good, but
no food because there's no refrigerator.
Mm-hmm. No.
Next time he sees you, he's gonna kill you, and I'm just gonna laugh. I'm just gonna stand there and laugh.
When will that ever happen? He'll never see me.
Oh Lord! All right, Jennifer, what's your next pick?
Okay, I have one that I watched all the way to the end and was starting to kind of get annoyed with, but then the ending just completely ruined the whole series for me, and that's How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
I just. Oh my God, I wanted to know how he met her fucking mother, right? I wanted to know the ending to the story. And then we find out, and has anybody seen it, or?
I honestly, I quit before that last season. I don't remember why. I think I just got tired. I don't remember, but.
Well, it was just some bullshit. I don't know if you want me to go ahead.
No,
and
go ahead.
Go ahead. So. We actually meet the mother before the ending, the very ending. I think we start meeting her the season before or something, and she meets everybody else.
Season. Yeah,
at the end of the
last, yeah.
Second last, yeah. And then so they finally meet, fall in love, get together, have these two kids that he's been talking to for 14 years, right, through the show.
Yeah.
And then she ends up dying of cancer, and
8 years ago.
Yeah, and so the kids are like, Dad, you should just go after Robin. You're obviously still in love with her. Is that why you're telling us the story? So he goes after Robin again, after all that bullshit. Robin and Barney broke up, and...
What? I didn't know about that part of it.
Yeah.
They should have been together. I was team Robin and Barney, and then he went back to her like a little bitch, and it was ridiculous. So,
yeah,
those are my feelings about it.
Oh, yeah, that totally is horrible.
It was awful. So, I mean, I still love the jokes throughout the show and the whole characters, but...
Slap Bet is one of the greatest things ever put to film.
What?
Slap Bet is one of the best things ever put. I fucking love Slap Bet so much. And Slapsgiving. Hell yeah, Slapsgiving was hilarious.
I like how they could carry a story or a joke throughout the whole thing, and it was still funny, and you had to kind of see it from the beginning to know it, but towards the end, he just kept having feelings for Robin over and over, and it was like, dude, you should have moved on by now, and I don't know. It just got dumb.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
The next one on my list is, I didn't have high hopes for it, but I guess it's that sense of duty thing you were talking about, Cyrus, and that's the Transformers movies. Of course, I was excited. I was like, oh my God, they're bringing one of my all-time favorite things to, to the big screen. Oh, and Michael Bay's directing it. I like a lot of Michael Bay stuff. It's going to have a lot of explosions. This may actually be a good fit. And then I watched the movie and I'm like, it was okay. That was a thing. That wasn't too bad. I got to see some cool stuff.
No. Hang on just a second. I got to interrupt you.
All right.
Let me correct you on your description of your own history. So what actually happened with Eugene is he watched the first Transformers movie, wanted to love it, needed to love it. I would say not just wanted, but it was like a physical, like he was a crack addict and he had to have crack. And so he got it wasn't crack. Like his dealers sold him some fucking Drano. But he was like, I'm smoking this shit. And he smoked it and his tears are running. He's fucking dying because he just smoked Drano. And he's telling everybody, well, it's not the best crack I've ever had, but it got the job done. It got the job done. But y'all don't want some of this? What, you don't want some of this? And everybody else is like, dude, that's fucking Drano. And he's just like, no, man, it's crack. Pretty sure. But he knew it wasn't. He actually knew it. He just wasn't willing to admit it, even to himself, to the point where he damaged his own soul. And it took you years to get over that. It wouldn't have happened. You would never have gotten over it if not for the dangling nuts in the second movie. If not for the bullshit that happened in the second movie.
So that second movie comes out, once again, partially a victim of the writer's strike. Oh, God, that movie was so bad. And the only reason I went and saw the third one, which actually it wasn't as good as the first one.
Dinobots!
Yeah, where'd you see the Dinobots?
And then you get to the fourth one, and the fourth one, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, I don't understand. And then, like I said, and I've mentioned this multiple times, there's an interview on record talking with one of the writers. And the writer said, it's giant robots fighting on screen. We really don't need that much of a story. You're one of the goddamn writers for the movie.
No, Mark Wahlberg, the whole time, you can tell, he's like, so when's lunch? Look.
He mailed he's mailing it in, man.
He's like, I'll take a salad with some kale and say hello to your mother for me. I mean, the whole thing is basically was a joke, The fourth movie, come on. They're reusing the same shit. They probably reuse the same animations. I guarantee you, like He-Man used to do, they reuse the same animations and stuff. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you they're the same shit. We just didn't notice because we're just like checked out,
Well, the other problem is if you go back and watch that first movie, now that you've watched it multiple times, you can actually start to pick stuff out. But I remember distinctly thinking in that first movie, watching it going, I don't really know what I'm seeing. Which robot is that? Because it's just...
That Starscream?
You can't tell. It's just a bunch of like metal, it's literally like two kids taking Transformers and going.
I feel so bad.
That was the fighting.
I feel so bad for you.
Computer explosions in between.
They had. Yeah. I mean, it's the worst thing that could have ever happened to you because it's technically his voice, right? He technically sort of looks like he could be Optimus Prime, and they're called. Nope. YouTube decided we weren't advertiser friendly.
Really? Okay, there we go.
I just realized that now.
All right, I'm starting another recording here just in case. So.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, Transformers.
Is there anything going on? Sorry, is there anything going on the chat? Are they saying anything in the chat?
I don't know. Chat, did we drop out for a while there, or let us know? They're saying they're pretty sure Optimus is going to die in this new one, and yeah, I think that's what most people are kind of thinking. So, which I mean, I'm glad he's getting a paycheck. That's nice, right?
It's Megatron all along.
So yeah, like this new one, I saw the first trailer for this new movie and was just like you could almost if they did a reaction video, and I hate those fucking reaction videos, but if they did a reaction video of me watching that trailer, it would have literally been me going like this for 3 minutes and then just went, nope, and turned it off. That would have been it. That would have been the entire reaction video.
Would you have got through the whole trailer? I don't think you would have got.
No,
through.
I would have
As
got
soon
through
as
the
you-
whole trailer
like,
just to go, nope.
Mine would have been like, turn it off, open the drawer, pull out the gun, put it in my temple, squeeze the trigger, and it clicks, and I go, and it's like 2 minutes of me crying.
That's very dramatic.
So done. So done.
Just like sobbing.
You got the
The
snot
snot's
coming down
coming.
your
Yeah,
nose.
ugly crying.
Full on gladiator snot, like
Yeah.
You go to wipe.
Yeah,
just like looking up at my screen.
fucking Transformers, Michael Bay bullshit, motherfucker.
Eugene's
Hashtag not bitter.
not bitter at all.
No.
Hashtag beach turkey, motherfucker. All right, Cyrus, what's your next one?
Don't
All right,
mention Transformers.
I'll go with a video game series, Call of Duty.
It was on my list.
Yep. It took me forever, including this last Call of Duty, to finally admit I don't care about Call of Duty anymore. The only reason I cared is because Mannon still bought them with me, once in a while. He didn't buy all of them, but he'd buy them once in a while. Yeah, that series peaked, about what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that.
I would say, yeah, at least.
Yeah, and it's just been like on death's door ever since. And now, I mean, seriously, it's regurgitated shit. It's the same. It's either the game itself is the same, but they package it differently. And now they've added all this futuristic stuff that totally changed it to like, I mean, not even anything anybody wanted. I don't know why they did it.
Are they trying to do their own Portal or Titan thing?
No, it's not. It's its own bullshit thing. You would think Titanfall came along and it was like, well, they did copy some of that, but then no, it wasn't good. And now they're going back to World War II again. So they've decided, oh, we'll just go back to what we were doing in the first place. And I just can't get excited about it. I've tried to get excited. Oh, that's cool. They're going back to World War II. And I'm like, I played the shit out of that. Like, I'll get it on sale maybe. I'm like, I don't care about this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I've moved on to other stuff. Yeah. I feel like that for a lot of video games, like gaming in a lot of ways. I feel like kind of bored, like, like I don't buy as many games as I used to do. I don't play as many games as I used to. It takes something really special for me to feel like I really got to put some time in. So Call of Duty. Yeah.
Yep, definitely on my list. Chris, what's your next one?
I only have one more.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's 3.
I've
There's
got
too many though. Like
I've got lots.
Yeah, you made up for it because it's been a rabbit hole of mine. I broke that one.
Me. She broke with me. No.
Yeah, you.
Damn. This show's going in a different direction.
And we're done.
And click.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotta get the cheese grater out and grate off my
Get rid
wedding
of the tattoo.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, so I'm gonna pick a book series. It's a All Souls trilogy, and it's by a writer named Deborah Harkness. And she used to, I guess she still does it. She has an award-winning wine blog, and she also writes history textbooks. So the All Souls trilogy is about a woman named Diana Bishop, who is a witch, and she works in this library, and there's this specific volume called Ashmole 782 that's very specific to witches and vampires and I forget the other ones. Anyways, and it goes missing, so she goes on this big long search, and she meets this vampire guy that they wind up getting married and having this half-breed baby. Anyways, I read the first book.
As one does.
And I should have known, based on the fact she used to write history textbooks, that this was going to be like reading a history textbook. It was going to be very dry, and it was going to be very boring, and there's going to be so much detail in it that the story got lost in it. Not that I'm not a big reader, I'm not a very scholarly reader. I like stories that are efficient. I don't need to know how your hair fell on your face as you were jogging. I don't care that you were fucking jogging. what are you doing to move the story along? This is not helping. And there was a lot of that. And the second book was really, they had time traveled back to the 15th century. It was 15th century England, but it was like with Chaucer and all of those historical writers. I'm like, I don't fucking care what happened with your baby. Like, why are we talking to Chaucer? Nobody needs to talk to Chaucer. He's been dead for 500 years. And then they traveled back. And it's like, oh, it's exhausting. There's just too much. So I have the last book. The last one is called The Book of Life. And part of me really wants to know if she ever finds this stupid book and then what happens with her baby. But then the other part of me is like, I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Have you? Okay, so let me ask.
About that.
Let me ask this, because that brings up a good point. Has anyone here given up on a series and still kind of had that, I guess, morbid curiosity of how it finishes up, and just Wikipedia'd that shit? Si's doing his head yes.
Yes, I've done that, and I haven't done it yet with this book, but it's sitting on my bookshelf, and it's collecting some serious dust, and I don't know if I want to, because it's a big book. It's like 700 pages. Yeah, and it's so dense, and it's not exciting. There's nothing that really, nothing exciting happens to care about these characters. It just seems really boring. And even the stuff that is a big deal to them, you don't care about, because it's written in such a way that the language that she uses is very educational. So it's big words where they don't need to be big words, and it's big long sentences with complex paragraphs that don't need to be there. And
Dan Brown. Excuse me. Something like
I can't read Dan Brown either.
I like how she said that like it was a put down. It was very educational.
It was. If I'm reading a book like that, it's just for entertainment purposes. Don't try to teach me anything. Just tell me the damn story.
See, I can read a Dan Brown. I can't read the shit she's reading.
But I like all that lore. I like to see what people, like other authors, takes on witches and vampires and see what new twists they put on it. But I was so bored with the way she wrote it. Mm-hmm. It was so boring. I felt like I was in school and I was forced to read it.
Oh, I hate that.
To be fair, you really can't. To be fair, Dan Brown's really not like that. Dan Brown's more like, he run fast. Bus come after him.
Damn. So he's the opposite?
Yeah, pretty much. Now that I'm thinking about it. Dan Brown's very simple man.
He gets to his points pretty quickly, but it's like a chapter is like a paragraph.
That's what I remember. That's what I remember now. Like,
really? It is though.
No, he's done a couple of chapters where it's like a paragraph, and then there's the next chapter. Oh, he writes his books as if he's seeing a movie, and that's...
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like you're watching a movie, which is why the Da Vinci Code was so good, because it was exactly like the book.
That being said, I hate how they switched the ending, but that's a whole other story. That's for another day.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Ray, what's your next one?
That's all I had.
Okay, so mine is a particular host of a show. When I first heard he was getting on there, I was like, okay, we'll see where this goes. I saw a couple of this. I gotta, see how it goes. Got a couple episodes in. Okay, he's doing all right.
Give him a chance.
And then Jimmy Fallon just acts like he's.
Aww.
He tries too hard. He just tries too hard. It's like he laughs at everybody's little tiny joke, and even the audience is like, ha, what? It's not that funny. And meanwhile, Jimmy Fallon is busting a gut laughing. I like some of his stuff. Like the musical impressions is good, and the one that he just did with Jamie Foxx the other night.
Oh yeah, that one was really good.
That was good. That's all I can watch of him though. I can't watch his other things because I just feel like they're too
forcing it.
Yeah, it's forcing it big time. So I don't know. And that's why I watch Colbert. So
I'm going to tell you,
Colbert's fine. That's a suitable alternative. There's no problem there.
I'm going to say something controversial.
Uh-oh.
I think Jimmy Fallon. I think if you really think about it, I think Jimmy Fallon is a lot like Johnny Carson. I think they're very similar. I think
Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. I like Fallon. Do I watch it a lot? No. Usually it's just kind of on in the background. But his stuff, the stuff that like winds up on the internet that I go watch or whatever, I end up watching more of his stuff than most of the other guys. Mm-hmm. But I see where you're coming from, Ray.
I don't know.
He's no Johnny Carson. I'm just saying
no one will ever be a Carson, but yeah.
Well, he's a very talented singer. He's a talented musician.
He's talented. I just
wish.
But
with the interviews,
the interview portion, just feels like he's forcing it so hard. Where he, and I don't know if that's just his general laugh, and that's actually maybe he does find it funny, and he just has an unnaturally, stupidly loud laugh. But it feels like he's trying to make the audience laugh with him. If you know what I mean? Like, hey guys, that was fucking funny. You need to laugh too.
What are you talking about, Ray?
Basically that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Jimmy Fallon. I'm sorry I broke up with you. Just like Nicole Kidman did.
Yeah.
But
I thought you two would be together forever.
Oh Lord. All right, Jennifer.
I have to get the tattoo.
Yep, there you go. Get the cheese grater. All right, Jennifer. What's your next one on your list?
So with the X-Men.
Can't hear you, Jennifer.
Jennifer, where are you? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, there
There
she
you
is.
are.
Okay, yeah, we got you.
Go towards the light. All are welcome.
Yeah, I was saying the X-Men series, the originals, especially the first. I'm talking movies.
Mm-hmm.
The third one was really weird, but then they did Wolverine Origins, and obviously that was the worst.
Yeah.
And I do like the movies, the new ones, but it was really confusing to me. They kept changing the timeline, and he died, but now he's back, and he's, it's an alternative timeline. I just can't deal with all that every time I turn around. So
I think for the average moviegoer, I completely agree with you. They totally screwed up a bunch of stuff. What I will say is that kept me intrigued, and we would not have Logan without any of those movies. So I held off for it, but I see exactly where you're going.
My God, I cannot believe you just made that point, and I don't know if I 100% agree with it, but if that is the case, if we had to have gone through all of that other stuff to get Logan, then it was completely worth it.
Oh my God, this is about, you think there's going to be a good Transformers movie.
No,
that's what this is about.
No, not at all.
Still holding out.
He's still holding out.
You know what? The next time I see a Transformers movie will be in about 15 years whenever they go, hey, we're going to reboot the series, and we've got some other person, and it's like Michael Bay is nowhere, like Michael Bay's like dead and whatever. Yeah, it's not.
Yes, they actually take him out.
No.
Old
Michael
Yeller
Bay's president of the United States.
Oh, Jesus.
Commissioned the Transformers movies.
No, I'm hoping for what was it on Saturday Night Live? They said it was The Rock and I can't think of his name right offhand. Anyway, my next one is I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one. My next one's actually a podcast, actually a podcasting network. Little bit of backstory. The first podcast I ever listened to, like one of the first podcasts there ever was called Twit, This Week in Tech. And the little bit of backstory on it was the host was on a show called The Screensavers. It was on a network called was it G4? No, G4 bought them. Who was it originally? Shit, I can't even remember. It's been so long. Anyway, G4, the gaming network, bought them out and basically gutted that show. It used to be about technology and like helping people with technology and stuff like that. And they basically just turned it into the garbage that is mainly what was G4. And most of the people got fired, so on and so forth. Well, the one guy who was the main host, about this time, podcasting was just now getting started, so he got together some of the people he used to work with, and they started podcasting. And he started a network, and it was called Twit. And they had some really good shows on there. Lewis was really into it as well. Some of the shows that they still had were like Security Now, where they got Steve Gibson, who's head of GRC research, and like this guy, he like basically found the first spyware. Like this guy is that heavily invested in this shit. So I mean, they got really, really awesome people, really, really awesome shows, really informative shows, and just as time went by, you come to find out that the main guy, Leo Laporte, divorced his wife and ended up marrying his business partner. And as all this was going on, and like kind of like, the stuff, the grumblings or whatever from the chat rooms and stuff that used to hang out there, like everyone's like, wow, she's a real bitch. Like, why are you with this woman? And then like some business decisions started coming down. So like a couple of the shows that I really, really liked, they got into this like all out like war with them and like banned them from the network. And I was just like, okay, this is getting to some serious shit. And then these other shows that I was watching, that I was listening to or whatever, they just dropped for no reason. Like they obviously had an audience. They had, sponsors. There was no reason to drop these shows. And, so I'm like, okay, well, I wonder why they dropped this show, because like literally the woman who was the co-host on the show was like a partner of his from like way, way back, and they've been doing stuff ever since. Why did he all of a sudden drop her? And I started doing research, and it all comes back to his current wife. And I'm just like, it's sad, because it really is a podcast network. They really did show people how and what podcast could be. And the fact that I don't watch or listen to any of those shows because it's become so, it's sad. It's sad. It's, I used to look up to this guy, honestly. Like if there was a podcast hero of mine, Leo Laporte would have been it. And that's not the case anymore. It's just, yeah. So, that one honestly hurt. Like that one really did kind of hurt, because, I listened to hours upon hours upon hours of these shows or whatever, and felt like you start to get to know the host and the personalities and stuff. I still follow most of the other people on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that, and they've moved on to other stuff. But some of them have come out and openly talked about it. Some of them have just like been like, I'm just not going to talk about that point in my life anymore. And I'm like, man, that's sad, because y'all used to be close. Y'all used to be friends. So. But anyway, Cyrus, you got another one on your list?
Well, I was remembering one whenever Chris was talking about the last one that she had. Something about it, for some reason, awoke this dark corner of my brain this zone somewhere back in this area, and I had put something there that I didn't want to ever come out of that spot, but it did, and it sprung back into my thoughts, and I had to confront my disdain and trauma and absolute disgust with a series that I was determined to make it through out of spite.
Okay.
Wow.
And that was the audiobook version of a series that actually never ended. The Whale of Time by Robert Jordan.
Oh, Lord,
Random.
Really?
Yes. The most aggravating shit I've ever listened to in my life, ever, with absolutely nothing that can compete with it. It stands alone in its frustration, condescension, repetitiveness, stupidity.
Wow.
Sexism against men. The most aggravating fucking thing I've ever tried to, I didn't listen to, but read, because it's a book, series of books. And I made it through, let me see if I can remember, because I've had to pull this up now. since
this is like a wow. Like
It was a repressed memory.
I'm
I think.
sorry.
Yeah.
We brought up something in you that we.
Is
This
it-
is
God.
an FTMF moment here. Like this is.
my brain. Oh.
Stupid brain.
So I got through.
You just
The
ate
eye of the-
years.
Okay, so the guy that does the audiobook is like obnoxious sounding too. And I had to put his voice on double or triple speed because I couldn't get through this fucking book because it took so long. Every one of these books was like 10 hours or some shit. So it's like the Wheel of Time. You know, because I had listened to it triple speed or whatever. So there's the Eye of the Wild. And then the Great Hunt. The Dragon Reborn. Oh, the Dragon Reborn. Ran to fall. He's the Dragon Reborn. I hate this fucking series. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I got all the way to, I believe I got to the last one that he did before his son took over because he fucking died, which would be Knife of Dreams.
And how many books in is that?
11.
What?
Oh.
You listened to 11 books in a series?
10 hours each.
Well, I think I did 10. There's a prequel I didn't do. So
It's
I think I
100
did
hours of your life.
I was
Out
working.
of spite, dude. Out of spite.
I was working at a,
Commitment.
I was working at a job where I just was typing all day and listening to shit. And
Okay.
I had gone through a bunch of books, and this was like, I started this series, and I gave it to, I think I was about halfway through the third book, The Dragon Reborn, when I realized how much I hated it. But I was like, I have to find out when this character dies. And I hope it's bad. I hope it's fucking bad. And then I was like, surely this character is not the hero. I hate this series.
You're getting all red.
Ryan says you went through audio waterboarding.
I waterboarded myself.
That's the sad thing.
That's commitment. You know, I should have gotten something out of that, but I didn't. I just got this damaged section here that's now returned. I don't blame you, Chris. You didn't know. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
I blame Eugene more than you because he brought this subject to us.
Oh, fuck you, motherfucker.
So that's
Bring
the coup de
on
grace.
tequila.
This is the ex husband that not only beat me but like, tortured me for like 4 years and kept me in a box in the garage, and I wanted to black it out. That's what this is.
Wow. I can't believe you made it that far into the many books.
Good on you.
I made it further than Manon did, and Manon was right there with me. We were both
Now,
suffering
did
through
you
that
go
shit.
farther than Manon because you wanted to beat him because he's your brother?
It wasn't about
You
Manon.
suffered
It
more?
wasn't. Honestly, I think Manon, out of sympathy, went along with me because he
Okay.
saw what I was going through.
And then he had
Honestly-
to manage
honestly-
you first.
You know, the way Manon is, this is what I really believe. I think he thought I was exaggerating about how bad it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so he wanted to be like, well, maybe Cy just doesn't get it. So let me, and then after a while, he was just like, I don't,
I'm
I'm
done.
done. Tap out.
you're right.
He was right.
That's hilarious.
I don't think I told him how far I got into it because,
He
yeah.
knows now.
Yeah, he's gonna send you a gift. It's gonna be the rest of the series.
Oh God, don't do that. No, because I'll have to fucking listen to them.
Really?
You asshole! You better not do
Eugene's gonna
this.
send that to you.
Yep.
No, I'm your
Guys,
friend. I wouldn't do that
weekend.
to you.
Thank you,
All right, I know.
you sick bastard.
I know, right? All right, Ray. Would you have another one on your list?
Well, I did think of another one.
Oh, okay.
yeah, she's got more.
What you got, Chris?
When you were talking about podcasts, I thought of another one. So there's a podcast out there called The Minimalists, and it's by Joshua Fields, Melbourne, and Ryan Nicodemus, and they're known as the Minimalists. They've been doing this, I think, for the last 6 years. They have 3 books out, 3 books of essays.
Their movies on Netflix.
Their
now.
documentaries on Netflix. It was okay, a documentary. But anyways, their podcast, I listened to it pretty religiously for like the first 6 or 7 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, I'm like, how much more can you talk about minimalism? Because it's minimalist, and what else is there to talk about? So they just started sort of saying the same things over and over again. And then I started hating Joshua Fields Milburn's voice, because he was always so calm and always so reassuring. And I was like, no, I can't do it. I'm going to fall asleep. So they have really good ideas, and a lot of their tips and advice I did take. But after a while, I was like, how much more is there? I don't think there's I think they're on like episode 20 or something like that.
It kind of defeats the purpose of being minimalist, doesn't it?
It does, and that's what I was thinking. I'm like, but you're minimalists. Shouldn't this be like, I don't know,
3 episodes max?
Yeah. What else can you say? Not buying shit. End of podcast.
End of podcast. It's basically just your weekly reminder. Don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it. You don't need it.
Thanks for tuning in, and tonight, don't buy it.
Yeah.
Yes. Our sponsors are no one, because you don't need to buy anything else.
Exactly.
We've got a show called The Minimalist. How many episodes is there? About 150. What?
Yeah. They have like a different series now that they're doing, which was behind the scenes of the documentary they did. I was like, yeah. No.
Just raking in the money.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what would be crazy is like the behind the scenes stuff. They're like totally not living the way they like the way the show is.
You got
like, set up.
Lamborghini.
Yep.
Yeah. You got closets full of shit that they don't. They're
Yeah,
all.
one's a hoarder. The other.
Yeah. Compulsive gambler. Yeah.
They buy like a pizza. They order like pizza, eat like 2 slices, throw the rest away and shit. You know,
Yeah.
Just like
Just wasted.
Got cats everywhere for no reason.
All right, Ray, what's your next one on your list?
All right, so I'm gonna go with a book series. I got into the first book was a little slow, and then I forced my way through, and I actually enjoyed it enough to go into the second book. Found out that there was 2 more after that, and I was like, all right. And so the first 2 were called The Innocent Mage and The Awakened Mage. Pretty cool books. It's kind of a fantasy thing and all about magic and stuff. And then I followed along the main character. It was pretty cool. And then the next 2, which is called The Prodigal Mage and The Reluctant Mage, I bought both books because they were out, and I'm like, okay, this looks cool. Started reading the Prodigal Mage, which is the 3rd of the series, and it was like starting all over again. It should have been a continuation of the story, and it sort of was, because it was like a 20 years later or a 30 years later thing, but it was boring, and I had to get reinvested in the characters, and it was like, you know what, I'm out. So I never got through the second one, and I haven't even picked up the third one or the fourth one. So
Do you still have them, or did you?
yeah, they're in the bedroom.
You won't get rid of them.
Because I feel like I should try and do it again, but
No, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself, man. There's too much other good stuff out there.
That's true.
burn them.
Burning.
I'm just saying, Hitler had some bad ideas, but maybe once in a while.
I was gonna say, if the power goes out,
The hill you die on.
shameless plug.
If the power goes out, you've got plenty of paper you can burn.
There you go.
Yeah, this is true. It's hot here.
Yeah. So anyway,
Don't
that's Karen Miller is the author. If you want to look it up, like I said, the first 2 I enjoyed enough,
Yeah, you did like them.
and it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting storyline, and then just
Yeah.
No, that sucks. All right, Jennifer, you got another one?
Yeah, and real quick, going back to what Chris said, I saw a documentary on them,
Yes.
and I didn't realize they had all these other things going on and that they were not as minimalist as they claim to be. So that's interesting.
They go on
Anyways,
bus
I was
tours.
yeah, I was going to say the Ender series.
Oh,
Did y'all read that? Ender's Game.
Oh, I think we have the first book.
Yeah, never got into it.
Oh, we haven't read it yet.
I read the first one, and then even the one that came right after it, and the one about Bean, his story, and those were okay. And then, like, the next few books just got really weird, and I just couldn't read. You know, there's like 13 or something in the series. I didn't really go past that. But yeah, he started going. It was like he was trying to tie things in and trying to find a story. After a while, you couldn't really. Didn't make sense. I don't know. When they got to this other planet and just kind of invented these species that, like, what is that? Is that really a thing? These things turn into trees, and then the trees are, I don't know, whatever.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, like it was like the beings on this planet started out as like these little pig creatures, and then when they died, they turned into trees, and all the trees on the planet were sentient and could communicate. I don't know. It's really weird.
Sounds like the Lion King. I don't know.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Then the antelope eat the grass.
Yeah, it was like I said, you know, it was weird. Turned me off from the series, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never read the books. I watched the movie. I thought the movie was enjoyable, but
yeah, that was another one of those movies. Harrison Ford. You're watching him. You're going. You're old.
Older than dirt.
Phoning.
He just seems a little slow. I'm sorry. Like just don't.
You know,
he was totally phoning it in, though.
I hope so.
I don't want to see them do The Fugitive 2 with them, though, like with him and Tommy Lee Jones. I don't care. As his teeth.
What? They're just like yelling at each other. What? I was the one-armed man. What?
What? And he's like got a walker.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Sorry.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I hope. I'm just. You know what? Honestly, the movie we're gonna know whether or not that. You know, maybe he just needs to retire or not. Is this new one? This Blade Runner? That's
Blade Runner 2049 or something like that.
Yeah, that looks.
Yeah,
I have to say, I've got good hopes for that.
He says. You haven't seen what? Say it again. What?
Come again? Can't hear you.
Harrison Ford said this is the best script he's ever written or ever read. Excuse me, he didn't write it.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah, this is the best script I ever wrote. You didn't write it, Harrison. What?
What? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure I wrote it.
It's got my name on it. Yeah, it's your copy. It's your copy.
Sounds familiar.
I was up all night with the typewriter. Like, no.
Ryan says in The Fugitive 2 there's going to be a big wheelchair chase scene.
Oh, electric.
Oh, no. We've got to get out of the way. Remember the train that's coming to hit the bus?
But can you have somehow, you have to tie it into, what the hell's the movie? Days of Thunder. Just that whole wheelchair scene. Like, you got to have it.
Well, they're going to the hospital.
Like,
Oh,
racing
Lord.
each other.
Days of
Sorry.
Thunder. Well, we're over the hour mark. I do have a few more I'd like to mention, so we'll just kind of go a lightning round here and go around. I had 4 more on my list. A couple of the, well, at least one of these, I'm going to say I've broken up with, but there's a slight chance I may go back to it. But the other 3, The Office. I gave up on The Office before the end. I just after Michael left, it didn't have the heart that it used to, and
It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
After Steve, it wasn't. But I watched the whole thing.
But there was that. Breaking Bad. I for what I watched, it was a phenomenal show. The writing on it is phenomenal. The acting on it is phenomenal. I understand all that, and I can appreciate it. It just did not. I didn't know when I gave up on it. I didn't know how it was going to end yet. Like I've since been spoiled on it. But that being said, I just got to the point I was just like, it's not going to end well. It cannot end well, and I'm just like, I don't know if I really care to see this not end well. So, and I know Lainey's going to hate on me till the day I die for giving up on that one. Two more real quick. One of them being a game, Gears of War. I love the first Gears. I loved the second Gears, but something happened. And when I owned Gears of War 3, I installed it on my Xbox 360. I never played the fucking game before I sold my 360. Something happened. I just was like, I'm done. I don't know. I'm done. And then the last one that was on my list, and this is the one that I may go back to, is The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead started doing that pile up on the whole thing, and it was like, hey, Christy, we can only hold so many episodes. We need to get caught up. So we watch a couple episodes and get caught up. And this last season was just so brutal. Christy's like, she's like, I don't want to watch this anymore. It's not going to get it's never going to get any better. It's going to get better for a little while, and it's going to get worse again. And it's going to probably just keep getting darker. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably going to keep getting darker. And when she gave up on it, I was like, well, I may still watch it because, just because I'm not watching it with her. And then I just kind of immediately realized that I don't have any interest in watching it either. It's like I said, do I really want to watch these people that I've cared about for this long, just watch them because they're all going to die? I mean, the only three that they won't kill, at least not for a good while still, is going to be Rick and Daryl and Carl. But everyone else, I fully expect to see them die at some point if I continue watching the show. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to watch these other characters that I've, come to enjoy and like. It's depressing. And I'm sure the show is still, I'm sure the diehard fans are still really enjoying it, and I hope you do enjoy it. But who knows? I may go back and pick it up. But for right now, I have no interest. I have no interest in watching The Walking Dead right now. So it's just too morbid at this point. So, all right, Cyrus, do you have any more on your list you want to run through real quick?
Well, I just want to add on to what you said about The Walking Dead. My issue is not when it's dark. When it's dark, the show's usually at its most interesting. My issue is that they repeat the same fucking shit over and over and over and over. And they have these stretches of multiple episodes where really nothing happens. And it's just the same, somebody makes some stupid fucking decision and goes off on their own and does something. And then it's like, we got to go find them. And then it's like, the circles, the show just goes in circles. And it should have been over probably 2 or 3 years ago. They could have condensed it and made it more interesting instead of stretching and stretching and stretching. And I feel like it's stretched so thin now that it's really difficult to maintain interest. The characters that they killed, a lot of them were the more interesting characters. And the characters who didn't die, in a lot of cases, are not that good. And so you're left here going, like, do I really care that much? And here we talked earlier about this sense of obligation, right? Uh-huh. This sense of like, well, I've made it this far. I feel like I should see it through, right? I feel like that with Walking Dead. Like, am I going to continue to watch Walking Dead? Yeah, probably I am. And I'm going to have moments that I enjoy, but I'm going to have a whole lot of fucking time where I'm going, ugh. And that's just what I know. That's what I got to look forward to. So that I don't have anything else I really want to say. I just wanted to add on to what you were saying on Walking Dead.
Good deal. Chris, did you have any more you wanted to throw out there?
No, that was it.
Okay. I know Ray's got a list. So before he gets back, Jennifer, do you want to run through real quick?
No, that's it for me.
Okay. Ray?
He's coming.
Okay.
Sorry, it just started pouring here. We were in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Sorry, just
Closing
closing up the windows.
Did you have anything you want to run through real quick, dude?
Sure. How to Get Away with Murder. Nah. We got intrigued into Lost, and then we fell out of love with Lost.
Like a lot of people.
We came back around. Oh, yeah, and then we came back around for the finale. Fringe. We've tried to watch all of Fringe twice, and we got a little bit further the second time around, and then we just kind of like, okay, and then we just kind of lost interest in that one. Video games, Final Fantasy. I came in.
Oh, yes.
So I came in at 8.
Yep.
I played 9. I played 10. I went back, played 7.
You came in at 8?
I came in at 8. Yeah.
What?
I was late to the show. And then, so I went back, played 7. It was great. I didn't play 11. And after that, I was like, meh.
What about 10-2?
10-2? Yeah, no, that was no.
What about,
Okay.
So you never played Final Fantasy 6, 3?
No. I've looked into them, and it's just, there were so many other things that I was doing at the time, right? Like, it was just, so I
That's the best one, dude. I'm sorry. I mean,
I was always told
now
you gotta play 7,
I don't know.
Play 7, you gotta play 7, so.
Yeah, I know. 7's like that too. I don't know if you can go back to it though. Like if you tried to play 6 and had never played it.
I've tried to play, was it 3 or 5? And it was like, oh, I can see there's a story here, but you don't know. Like the nostalgia isn't there for me. So
Let me just say, when we were younger, before the internet, time was different. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Time had a different meaning. And so when it came to a game like that, you could just play for hours and hours and hours and grind away, getting more health and whatever. And it was whatever. But now it's like, I don't have time for this shit.
Yep. Where are the cheat codes? Let me get this done.
Exactly. Yeah, I used to look on people with cheat codes differently earlier on when I had more time. It was like, what are you doing? You're ruining it for yourself. And now that I've gotten older, it's like, no, if you want to get the maximum out of this game and you have a limited amount of time, you do what you do.
And need the cheat codes. Yep. What was else I was going to say? Pick Your Gamer, because, him and the whole show thing.
Wait a minute, are you saying that Pick Your Gamer is on your list?
Oh, yeah. No.
You've checked out of Pick Your Gamer?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I watched his videos for a while, but after a while, they just seem to be about video games all the time.
It's the same shit over and over again.
You know what? He's kind of like this picky old guy. I don't know.
I was like, these characters seem very similar.
Oh my God, I hope he listens to this.
The only other one I was going to watch or talk about it, we do it every season except this year. We did not do it this year. Every season when The Voice starts.
Oh, I haven't watched that in years.
We haven't for the last couple of years, but every time the season started, we'd always watch all where they have to turn the blind auditions. We would watch them faithfully.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as it went into the show,
we stopped watching it. We just wanted to see the blind auditions.
Just wanted to see the blind auditions.
We didn't care about anything else.
And so we did that for a number of years, and now we don't watch.
I just like looking at Gwen Stefani when and now I'm just like whatever. I don't really care. Gwen Stefani's pretty odd. Just saying.
Anyway, that's kind of what I got.
I'm like, there was a show? I thought it was just Gwen Stefani.
Now, I kind of had hopes for The Voice just because I was like, okay, it's not just, blind audience voting for whoever the little pop, teeny bopper is or whatever that's not going to go on to do anything. And now it's like season 12 of this, and it's like, all right, name the last 3 winners. No one can. No one remembers them.
None of them have done anything. Other than Blake's winners, who are now country stars.
Yes.
Everybody else hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, let's get. I was just saying.
Sorry.
Let's go ahead and move on to our picks and pans for the week. Would anyone like to go first?
Can I?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
What would you write it down?
So I'll do this one first because this is kind of a cool pick. So
okay.
I went and got some Aftershocks headphones. So at my work, I need hearing protection in all the time in most areas, just because it's loud. It's a big, huge factory. Blah blah blah. So these little guys here are bone conduction headphones.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, you throw them on, they sit in the front of your ear. They don't actually go in your ear, so you can still have hearing protection in, and you can still hear the music or podcast or whatever you're listening to. Strangely enough, it works, and it's weird. It's a strange sensation.
Yeah.
It's because it's I don't know. It's cool though. So yeah, if you get a chance to try them out, or they do work surprisingly. They sound even better with hearing plugs in. That's why I need them. But if you need to be aware of things around you, like biking or anything like that, you can be completely aware of your surroundings while still listening to this kind of stuff. So I thought it was kind of cool.
No, that is really cool.
Yeah, these are the wired versions. They have Bluetooth options as well, and there's a bunch of other things too. But check them out. Aftershocks.
Very cool.
And then the other thing is, so long story short, Chris and I are potentially looking for. Yeah, I know. Shut up. We're potentially looking for a new car.
Yeah.
And so we went test driving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I didn't realize how much this guy was like him until I even looked him up. So we met Gil from The Simpsons. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's Gil who's got to get the sale in. Oh, come on.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
I swear to God, he was just like Gil. He had this shitty office space right by the door. Where
they treated him like shit.
Crap.
So, okay, we go in. We're going to buy this. We're looking. We wanted to just take a Jeep Renegade. It was a Jeep Renegade that we wanted to take for a test drive.
Yes.
And so we go in there. And we're having we're standing around waiting for somebody, and the girl said, "Oh, I'll go get somebody. You just wait right here." And it's like the shitty office, like a terrible spot. They got cubicles up. It's terrible. We're waiting, and all of a sudden, this old guy comes up to me. I'm like, oh, "Okay, I guess this is the guy." And he's like, "Yeah, come on over to my desk here, and over in the far corner." And so we walk over to the far corner, and I didn't even realize we sat down in the chairs. And right next to me is an emergency exit. It's actually just a regular exit, but a handwritten note saying emergency only. And so as we're sitting there, we're just about to tell them that we want to take this thing for a test drive, and two guys walk behind us. One of the guys hits my chair a bit, and they walk through the door. And he's like, "Oh, sorry about that. They do that once in a while, and then my papers go flying, and I got to pick up my papers." And the one girl kind of laughed about it, and she, they don't care, they don't give a shit. But she, it was nice, and she put the sign up there for me. It was like, holy shit, man, this guy's. It's cold back here because the heat doesn't come out of there, so I gotta get the space heater on, and sorry if it's cold. And I'm like, okay, dude, this is.
Yeah, he was go.
What the hell? So finally he goes, and it took him a good 20 minutes to go find the car.
Find the car, and then he had to.
Then he had to go gas it up because it wasn't ready.
It wasn't ready to go.
Then he shows up with the key, and he's, "Come on through, you can take. I think you'll love it." So we drive it.
We don't like it.
We didn't like it. It didn't fit for what we wanted. And now I got to go break this guy's heart. So I walk in with the key, and I hand it to him, and I just flat out broke out, like, "Sorry, man, this isn't for us. The back seat's too small, and the trunk doesn't work for us either." "Oh, well, I got a bigger car over there, and do you want to get into a van?" It's like, no. And I broke his heart. "Oh, it's okay."
Oh my God.
No, sorry. So yeah, he's not going to eat for a month because I bought a car from him. I was honestly waiting for one of the other guys to come in and be like, "Don't worry, we got it from here," and like grab the paperwork.
Oh my God, yes.
Joker Schwab says its employees actually successful as Lambo's parked next door.
No, this man was not successful.
No.
A ploy.
I'll send a picture on the back channel of what the guy looked like, as well as Gil, and it's kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God, yes, I can't wait to see that. Does anyone else want to throw their picker pan out there real quick?
I would like to first offer a pan for being reminded of fucking Wheel of Time.
Sorry.
His pan is this show.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. It's all right.
I'm just gonna do the show for you anyway.
My pick would be that 8-bit dough Super Nintendo controller that I got. I have this Bluetooth controller made by a company called 8-bit dough, and they added support for the Nintendo Switch. So now I have an extra controller for my Switch instead of having to buy a $70 controller. So it's pretty good. Pretty good little deal there.
Kind of told Christy that's what I want for Father's Day. So
yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to throw my pick in real quick. My pick is, and I think I've already made this a pick earlier on, but I'm picking it again.
What about Jennifer?
Well, I'm getting to it. It's okay.
I'm just saying.
Because Chris hasn't gone yet either. It's okay.
Yeah. Let other people talk.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm picking MST 3K again. I have had it on in the background while I'm doing stuff, and it's, there are these shows that, like, every single joke is just like, it just constantly hits. Like, there were seasons of Parks and Rec that, like, they were firing on all cylinders. Every single joke was just hitting. Mystery Science Theater 3000 is not that. This is the baseball of comedy, because it is literally 1,000 jokes and only 3 of them may hit. But when they do, oh my God, they are hilarious. I just love this show. It's stupid funny, and I can't get over it. I'm adoring it, because trying to go back, and I've tried to go back and watch the the classic episodes, and they're still funny, but they're using modern humor in this. Like, they're pulling stuff from the most recent Star Wars, and they've made reference to, like, other shows on Netflix, and it's just like, it's hilarious. It's so well done. If you like that type of stupid humor, definitely check out Mystery Science Theater 3000. Jennifer, do you have a pick or pan for the week?
I don't have much going on. I'm getting ready for a trip to Wisconsin next week, so that's exciting.
Oh, good deal.
And that's about it. Yeah.
Cool.
What's in Wisconsin?
I have a work training.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a 4-year program I go to, so yep,
You
I'll be
should-
there for a few days and then going to Denver to see a friend.
Cool.
You should just make up something that sounds really interesting. Like, well, I got to go up there because I'm having one of my kidneys taken out.
Yeah.
Online, I got into a discussion with this 12-year-old, and she's got no other options. And I was like, you know what? I've got 2 kidneys. I really only need one. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Then I found out that one of my kidneys, it might fail on me, but I was like, you know what? I already promised, so I'm going to go ahead and give the good kidney. And then then I'm going to go smoke a bunch of pot in Denver.
Yeah, that's actually ruin the surprise. Thanks.
Same story.
Sorry.
That was for next week's
spoiler
show.
alert. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Close enough.
Oh, Lord. My bad. They called you out in the chat room, by the way, Eugene. I don't know if you saw that. You've been called out. Joker's Wild has a pan, and that's it. Eugene has no Epically Geeky branded fidget spinner.
I'm working on it, fucker. And you had to jump in too, huh? Couldn't help me out there, huh?
Nope.
Let's just dump more.
I never promised to be helpful.
That's very true.
Sorry.
That's very true. Chris,
Critical.
do you have a pick or pan for the week?
I have some stuff written down.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's like a list. First of all-
there is a list. First of all,
It's my fault. Sorry.
I haven't been on in a bit, and it's been a really good week. So okay. So the first one is food related, of course. So I found these little. I'm just happy about this. They're these little 222 milliliter little cans of Canada Dry, but they're in blackberry ginger ale. They're so cute.
Mm.
Yay! So I drank all that, and then
Wait a minute. Hang on. Hang on. Slow down. Slow down.
What?
So Canadians drink Canada Dry.
yeah.
yeah.
Wow. All right.
They
That's
invented
cool.
it.
We call
Why
it
did they-
Canada Dry rather than
They're
just dry.
Yeah, that's why I was like, why did they call it Canada Dry? It's just
Because that's the brand name. and then Pringles makes ketchup Pringles now.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I've eaten half the tube already, so those are gonna go away.
She's not lying.
No, the half the tube's
You're like,
gone.
"Ah,
Right?
I want
That-
I want to try
that one's worth
ketchup
biting.
chips so badly.
They're
That-
really
that one's-
good.
Down there at all?
No, they don't have ketchup chips. It's just a Canadian thing.
I thought they
that
had
one's worth biting your lip over.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, and then what else I did? Oh, this weekend's been pretty good. Logan with the bird, and then
I was
today
working.
I got some of the furniture out for outside, and part of it's because
I know.
and it was really nice out. We ate dinner outside, and then I have a pan. I finally watched Logan. We had to watch it in 2 parts because I didn't realize how long of a movie it was.
Mm-hmm.
And my pan is I have to say spoilers, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you haven't seen Logan yet, sorry, look away.
Yeah.
Yeah, look away because I'm about.
Wait a
to
minute, Jennifer, is this a problem or are you okay?
Oh,
or-
No,
no.
I've seen this. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
fine with this.
So I got very upset about the way Professor Xavier died. Like
Right?
really,
Oh.
really
She was
viscerally
like,
upset.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I
I'm
started
like, yes,
yelling.
It's okay.
Because
Watch the
I
movie.
was so mad because he's my favorite character, and I love Patrick Stewart. And I was like, "This is the shittiest thing that's ever happened. That's such a cop out."
She was pouting for the rest
I
of the
didn't.
movie.
Yeah, I had a hard time enjoying the rest of the movie because I was so mad.
I'm like, no, it's gonna get better. Watch it. No, I don't give.
Girl, I'm right there with you because
Okay.
I got really upset, and my friend even said, "You don't handle character deaths well, do you?" And I said, "No."
Not
It
when
was
I'm
Professor
in bed.
X too, and he's like, even when it like serves a story, and I was like, I don't give a shit.
That didn't serve the
Professor
story. That
Yeah.
made no
No,
sense.
it did.
No, the way I knew he had to die, but like the way he died, that's what bothered me.
Well, see, but part of the thing, and this is
Yeah.
what they didn't explain very well in the movie, and I wish that they did. And so what it was is, so Professor X has a huge guilt because his little episode that he had, and those episodes that he has, they actually caused Wolverine to go into this rage, and he was seeing enemies, and he killed the X-Men. That's the guilt. And what they didn't explain was that he kind of felt that when he saw Wolverine over him and he killed him, that was his, okay, I was owed that. Like that was because I was a bad man for, it was my fault for killing the X-Men. So this is this is what
His redemption.
this is redemption. I died for that. And it was Wolverine killing him. And then that's why it meant so much when Logan grabs him. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. And just begging him to understand it wasn't him.
I still didn't like it, and I don't care about that explanation. I hated it. I didn't like the way he died. I think it's more because I really, really love Patrick Stewart, and he reminds me of my granddad.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things.
And my grandpa.
I'm going to be very honest. I was misty. Very misty.
Yeah, it was a hard
yeah.
one.
That was so worth it.
Yeah.
So worth it. But yeah.
So that was it. That's all I've got.
So there's a question.
What?
Which death was harder to watch? That one or Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Oh, no, that was harder for me than Guardians.
Well,
yes,
no.
that was harder for
Yeah.
me.
I was more invested in Professor X than.
Than
Fair enough.
the Guardians one was tragic because you just got
Yeah.
to like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You felt robbed. You felt
Yeah.
like
That's what I'm.
Oh, poor Loco was a mess.
He was Mary Poppins.
Which, by the way, at one of the Comic Cons this weekend, someone dressed up as Yondu with her dress on. And
Really? That's awesome.
I'm like, that is awesome.
I love it.
Great.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I need to watch it again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've seen it twice. I gotta go again too.
Yep. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for the week. If you would, please give us a 5-star rating in iTunes or Stitcher or Google Music, wherever you listen to the show. You can also listen to us or watch us record the show live on YouTube. Normally it's Saturday nights. Moved it to Sunday night this week because, well, reasons. You can also check out some of our other shows on the network, the Marginally Geeky Show. We're actually going to be recording a new episode hopefully this week. Epic Rhythm and Blues.
No.
We'll see when we get another episode of that. Game Rambling was recorded earlier. There's a hand going up. Yep. What?
I just want to say Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
I don't know if we say Happy Memorial Day so much as
We have Victoria Day weekend last week.
Yeah, but
It's
Memorial
Happy May
Day,
2
so yeah.
Enjoy your tomorrow day off. Enjoy Monday
Yeah,
off.
I don't know how to say that then.
Sure.
we're it's a weird thing in America. Like, we really don't know how to address it. So people always say, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
We don't really say, nobody really says Happy Memorial Day. It's
Yeah, well, I mean, I get why it's not a happy, but it's a celebration of life. Maybe.
yeah.
It should be. It should definitely be looked at that way. So yeah. And then I was supposed to get an episode of Epically Geeky Makers out this week, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm waiting for the last part that I need to for this week's project to come in, and that was supposed to come in today. Now it says it won't be until possibly Wednesday. So we'll just have to see about that. So we may have a new episode, but it may not be until next week. Until then, where can we find you on the internet, Cyrus Martin?
Well, you can find me here at epicallygeeky.com, but you can also find me doing other things on my YouTube channel. And I'm being joined by guests. I got Manon on there, Pico Gamers on there. Might have some opportunities for other people to come on, like Eugene or some other people, and talk about controversial topics. So if you're interested in a little bit, maybe not as geeky, but still kind of geeky, but still maybe a little more on the uncomfortable side.
Can I do something real quick? Web. Can I do something real quick? I'm going to call you out for a second. On your show, The Hill You Die On, and it's not every episode, but I've noticed most of the episodes you tend to ask the question, the important, the controversial question to your guest, whether it be your brother or Picky Old Gamer thus far, and you don't really. Like, you kind of give your opinion a little bit, but not really. You kind of really let your guests die on that hill.
It's called The Hill You Die On.
Yes, but I thought you were going to die on it as well. You're just like, so is this what you think? Okay then.
I'm open to that. It just hasn't worked out that way.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking. I'm just like, because I thought about that. I was like, okay, if I go on this show, he's going to ask a question, and I'm going to put my opinion up, and then he's just going to make jokes and dance around it, and I'm going to be the only one on this fucking hill dying.
You're like, this show throwing the mortars at you.
Exactly.
This show should be called Cy Throws Everyone Under the Bus.
Exactly.
No. There are episodes where I get down in it.
You do talk about, like I said, but some of them I've listened to, I'm just like, he never really kind of gave his opinion. Just kind of hung Manning out to dry on that one.
I saved some of my see, I have some pretty strong opinions, and usually I don't want to like burden other people. Like, here's a concern that I have. Like, you want to ask me about this, I'm going to tell you. Here's a concern that I have.
I don't want to burden other people.
No, I'm just saying, if we start talking about a controversial topic, like abortion or something, and I have Manon on or I have you on or somebody, if I start telling everybody what I really think and I go into depth about like how little fucks I give about other people's feelings, then what I'm concerned about is that the guest is going to be, they might have some of the response come at them. So I have been pulling my punches and I need to stop doing it. So thank you for calling me out on it. But it's just been a concern that I've had. I usually save my worst shit for those individual ones, for the FTMF videos.
You know what, that the way you're putting that actually makes sense. So that makes sense.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right. I need to shit or get off the pot. So.
Like I said, there were a couple of them. I just thought it was funny. I was just like, he didn't really give his opinion. It was just funny. It just came across to me funny. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, Chris, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me here, and I'll be on the Marginally Geeky podcast on Wednesday. Yes. Okay, I'll be on that, and then on Instagram at the Lake Life at Lake. Nope, I'm not gonna do it because I just screwed up. So
the Lake Life.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Ray, where can we find you on the internet?
So on Facebook, you can find me, search for Raymond Andrew, and you'll find an artist, and that's what I try to be. And then you can find me on Instagram as well, the Lake Life Artist. Once again, trying to be. I'm going to throw up, so the storm that we had just had a whole shitload of lightning, and I got a GIF there made from my phone. I'm going to throw it up on there, because hopefully it'll work, because it was pretty cool. So
Nice.
Yeah,
we had a lot of heat lightning.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
That's the power's going up for sure.
I thought it was too.
Oh yeah, I was like honestly not sure this episode was gonna happen. I'm just like, whoa, this is gonna be a thing.
Yeah, it got pretty intense for a minute.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that we still haven't heard from Jay. So
very true. Jennifer, where can we find you online?
I'll be on the Marginally Geeky show Wednesday. I'm on here occasionally, and Instagram or Twitter at Head's Gonna Be Me.
And you can follow my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on site, have a good night.